688 would not have existed without influences from outside the Women's Army Corps. Probably the biggest external influence was Mary McLeod Bethune, a veritable powerhouse. Bethune's parents were enslaved, and her older siblings had been born into slavery. The challenges of growing up in the Reconstruction-era South inspired Bethune to dedicate her life to education and activism. Her teaching career and founding of her own school in Daytona, Florida, led to her participation in several civil rights groups. Her participation and fame grew, and beginning in the late 1920s, she was regularly invited by the U.S. presidents to serve on federal committees and fostered friendships with the likes of John D. Rockefeller and Franklin and Eleanor Roosevelt. In 1935, Bethune founded the National Council of Negro Women and served as the council's first president. The NCNW's goal was to improve the lives of Black women and their communities, and would focus this goal on the Women's Army Auxiliary Corps. Bethune's close ties to the President and First Lady allowed her inclusion in the early planning stages of the Corps. Originally hoping to be appointed second in command of the Corps and assistant director under Oveta Culp Hobby, the 66-year-old Bethune was informed this would be impossible because of her ineligibility to meet the enlistment standards. Instead, one of Bethune's assistants, Harriet M. West, would join the first group of WAC officers and would be assigned to the director's office in D.C. This connection helped Bethune and other civil rights groups address concerns of discrimination and segregation in the Corps. The initial request for Black WACs to be sent to Europe was denied in 1942 on the grounds that women were not to be sent overseas for morale purposes. In August 1943, the NCNW sent a report to Oveta Culp Hobby pushing for full integration, advocating against an all-Black regiment at Fort Des Moines, and urging for overseas duty to be extended to Black WACs. Overseas duty was taken under consideration, but action was slow. Bethune's strong friendship with Eleanor Roosevelt led to the First Lady advocating on behalf of Black WACs getting a chance to serve overseas, writing to Hobby in May of 1944 stating, "They are very anxious to go." Because of the extreme pressures put on the WAC leadership to send Black WACs overseas, the War Department decided in late 1944 that it was time to organize a unit. Beginning in December, key members of what would become the 6888 were asked to volunteer for overseas duty. The Corps tried to be mindful that all members chosen would need to be above reproach, in an effort to prevent detractors. Once all unit members were chosen, they were ordered to the 3rd WAC Training Center at Fort Oglethorpe, Georgia, for assignment to the Extended Field Service Training Battalion. The women did not know where they would be sent nor what work they would be doing, but the rest of the country did. On January 16th, while they were sequestered in the middle of training, the War Department issued a press release announcing that
a Women's Army Corps unit composed of Negro WACs is being formed for overseas duty. The unit, which will form a postal battalion, will be commanded by Negro WAC officers. The unit will go abroad on completion of field training.
Following the intense field training, most of the battalion was sent to Camp Shanks, New York. Bethune had intended to see the unit off, but was ultimately unable to be there. Instead, she wished them well via telegram, saying,
"We are depending upon you. We have much at stake. You represent 15 million of us. Your success in this courageous service is ours. Think well. Realize your individual responsibility. Carve a niche for those who will follow you. God bless you."